Hey, it's Captain Roger. Let's go for a walk. So as we work on walking with God by walking through the Bible, we come to one of most people's favorite Bible characters, a guy named Moses. And Moses is an interesting sort because his start in life was completely different from that of the rest of his people. Moses was a foundling. A lot of people know the story where his mother, in response to the command from the Pharaoh that all Hebrew boys be thrown into the Nile, put her son in a basket before she threw him in there, and he floated down to where the Pharaoh's daughter was bathing in the river a little farther down. And when that girl found him, she rescued the baby and raised him as her own, which meant Moses was raised in a whole different world, a whole different culture than his own people. And he had absolutely no knowledge of who God was or why he should care. And as he got older in life, we do get an idea that Moses took an interest in his heritage, in his people, who were slaves at that time. And we see this in that when he saw an overseer beating a Hebrew man, he stepped in and he killed that overseer for what he was doing, because he thought that no one would know or see what he had done. And I suspect he thought, even if they did, I'm a prince, they'll let me go. Well, it turned out not to be the case. Just like it turned out not to be the case that no one found out. Soon enough, word of what he had done got back to the Pharaoh, and the Pharaoh said, execute Moses. So Moses found himself on the run, and he ran out into the desert, out of the land he had known, out of the palace that he had grown up in. He was about 40 years old at this point. Imagine 40 years of luxury, and then running into the wilderness with no direction, no real knowledge, no real hope of life. As he traveled, he got to a well and helped some sisters there who were being bullied by some neighboring shepherds, helped them to get a drink. They ended up getting invited home to their father's house. And to make a long story short, too late, I know, Moses ends up marrying one of these girls, spends the next 40 years working with his father-in-law as a shepherd in the wilderness. It's an interesting start to life. Now, as we go through the story, we'll hear how Moses went on to learn how to walk with God. But at this point, he's only ever walked for himself. In pretty much what's an entire human life for our generation, an entire adult life anyway, he's just thought about himself and never really considered anything about God. And here he is, lost in the wilderness. And I wonder how many of us feel like we're there, like we're lost in some sort of wilderness, like we need to find something, but we don't know what that something is. I think that's Moses. He's looking for something, and he just doesn't know how to find it. Fortunately, he's going to keep looking, but we'll find out about that another day. Right now, I need to finish my walk. Grace and peace to y'all.